Hey there, Jets Nation. Welcome back to One Jets Pod. Whether you're tuning into our video content or joining us on our audio-only platforms, we've got you covered. If you're enjoying what you hear or see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't just gently tap, but smash that bell icon to stay notified whenever we drop new content. Also, we love comments and 5-star ratings. Thanks again, Jets fans. Now together, let's fuel the green and white passion. Let's go, Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium. Hit it!
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod, and welcome back to the show. I am joined by my co-hosts, Brandon Bass and Dominic Lorenz. Brandon, my brother, how are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling great. Victory Tuesday. It's ugly, but we'll take it. Let's keep it rolling. On to the Chargers.
Absolutely. And Dominic, my brother, I know it's been a rough couple of weeks, but how are you doing?
I don't know what a Victory Tuesday's like.
Whatever you do.
Ever since we spanked the cowgirl's ass, it has not been. We've been licking our wounds lately. I know we'll talk about it in the show, but we amped up a little bit on the trade deadline today, which was very nice, and hopefully the week off that's upcoming for the Niners in Week 9 will kind of just reset the tone, kind of remember the good, forget the bad of the first 8 weeks, and kind of just set up for the second half of the season. And you know, the Niners have to get right, and they're going to have to get right fast, because the last time we talked, Niners were in first, and due to Seattle already having their bye week, we're currently a half game out of first. So a lot of things have changed over the last couple of weeks. So a little different edge to the show today as I represent the Niners.
Sounds like champagne problems for the Niners.
Speaking of champagne,
come over to Green and have some real problems.
Hey, I got a little green in my Anaheim Ducks
there you
today.
go. You got a little green and white on the shirt.
With the Niners on the bye week, I got the Niners hat, but I got to represent my Ducks hockey, so there's a little Jets green in there. So there you go.
There we go. Now, speaking of champagne, Brandon can pop the cork. He's sitting beautiful there in first place after going 12-4 in the pick'ems this week. Congratulations on that one, brother.
Damn.
Dominic falls down to second place after going 10-6. That's still not bad. Oh, by the way, Brandon's record now is 73-49. Dominic dropped down to 72-50, so there's only a game separating those two.
Oh yeah, it's still tight. Yep.
And then there's my punk ass down there in third place once again, coming up to 68-54. 4 games out after going 7-9 this week, man.
Hey, I was this close to picking the Titans. I was this close. Y'all know I was struggling with that game. I was like,
dude.
But listen, you was like Atlanta. I was like, all right, fine. That rookie showed up, didn't he?
4 touchdowns?
No, that was Tennessee rookie showed up, and then the other rookie, Des Ritter, gets benched for Heineke.
Yeah.
So, who would have thought? I thought it was gonna be a field goal game. I had a bye week in fantasy, so I had to bench Butker for the Chiefs, and I put Nick Folk in for the Titans.
Oh God!
And he gets 4 extra points, not 4 field goals, 4 extra points.
And my strategy doesn't work as far as picking Pittsburgh at home, even though Jacksonville was 2.5-point favorites on the road. I felt like, man, only 2.5 points. Pittsburgh at home, give me Pittsburgh. But man, they lost by what, 10?
Kenny Pickett could be out this Thursday, so it could be the Trubisky show.
Oh, dude, the Steelers are definitely going
to so bad. He stinks so bad.
The Texans let us all down.
I really think, honestly, between the three of us, and we'll get into this near the end with our pick'ems for this week is going to be, I think, the hardest week of pick'ems because of all the quarterback injuries, like Kirk Cousins. Adios, muchacho. And I don't think he's coming back faster than Aaron Rodgers. So just putting that out there. The quarterbacks, the injuries, the trade deadlines, but it wasn't too crazy. Like this week, already looking at the picks, I told you before we hit record, normally I come in with my picks ready to go. I'm picking them on the spot tonight and see if something changes. Because now that all 3 of us have been in first place at least once this year, okay, the niceties are over. I'm hitting my bye week. Let's go.
I think right now, I think you guys are just flashing the pans. You know, you're a 2-week wonder. Brandon's probably going to be a 1-week wonder. I'm taking first place back this week.
Why I gotta be a 1-week wonder though?
Because I'm going to win. I'm going undefeated.
We gonna see.
I say that every week.
Oh god.
Oh my god! I'll tell you what, though, a team that I probably will never pick again is the Chicago Bears, dude. They let me down.
Then they'll win. Then they'll win.
No, the Giants, they let me down.
Who were they playing again?
Oh, that lousy other fucking
The Bengals.
the younger brother team, the Bengals.
That's too early to say that B word. That's too early.
Oh man, the Niners. Hey, but you know what? I will say this about the Niners: they needed a bye week. They were banged up. You know, it just. I think the Niners will be the Niners. I'm not counting them out.
Our Commanders.
The Commanders, yeah. But no, like I said, Brandon 73-49, Dominic 72-50, and I'm sitting down there at 68-54, man. Yeah. I need, and I was telling Dominic, man, just to get my first place status back last week, just I'd have to go undefeated.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself it can't happen.
Stranger things have happened.
Oh man,
The Niners traded for Chase Young. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Let's go.
We didn't do anything. But we'll talk about that here a little bit. But again, Brandon, congratulations on getting on first place.
Thank you.
Dominic, congratulations on not at least falling down to third place.
It's all right. It's all right.
And
All in due
Randy,
time.
screw you.
Yeah. Come on, Jets jacket boy. Let's go.
Hey, you know what though? I still hold the record of 6 weeks in first. So you know what?
Yeah. Okay. We'll get
Anyways, let's get into this Jets-Giants recap. Now, first of all, as Brandon knows, in this game we lost Al Woods, Connor McGovern, and Wes Schweitzer. I can never say that name right. Al Woods,
you said it right.
Achilles, he's done for the year. He won't even get a chance to pull an Aaron Rodgers because it's where we are in the season so far. So, Connor McGovern, he's kind of iffy. They say his kneecap. They say they're going to see if he can rehab it and maybe, not avoid surgery.
Yeah, but they're not ruling it out either. So
they're not ruling out. Yeah, so that's kind of a 50-50 thing right there.
Okay.
Schweitzer, I haven't heard anything on him. Have you guys heard anything about him? All I got is a leg.
Well, he's on the IR too.
Right.
With the hopes of being able to come back. They're saying they both have the possibility of playing again this season, but they're just not sure. It's going to take it. So they put him on the IR, so they'll be gone for at least 4 weeks.
Okay. The good old week-to-week basis at this point.
But did they release anything specific on the leg injury?
No.
Okay, because I would say I haven't seen anything yet. Okay, so, but real quick, since we touched on the injuries there, with those injuries, we didn't make any moves here at the trade deadline. I mean, we did trade McCole last week. Joe Douglas did say he was all over the phones. Now, personally, I think, obviously there was no deal to be made because, obviously sides couldn't come together on any kind of agreement. And I'm kind of glad in a sense that Joe didn't just make a move to make a move, because I showed you guys the draft picks, and this is my opinion. We don't have much as far as draft picks go. Like 7th round picks, I'm going to be real with you. Like, what do we do? What have we ever done with a 7th round pick? Like 7th round picks to me are just like, whatever. So we basically got a first. I think there's a 3rd and a 4th, and then after that, we don't pick for 3 rounds.
Ooh.
So I mean, there had to have been a real juicy deal for Joe Douglas to pull one of those moves, because the guy can draft. Yeah, he hasn't hit on all of them, but for the most part, he's built this team, around a core bunch of players that he's drafted, and that's kind of my thing is, the Jets aren't that kind of team anymore where we go blow our load out in free agency, or we just go make weird moves just to make weird moves at the trade deadline or whatever, or even in the offseason. Like, the Jets are now one of those teams that are building through the draft and developing players that way, kind of like how the Packers have always done things. And that's just the way I view Joe Douglas. So I'm not totally mad that we didn't make a move, But I am a little happy that we did at least do something as far as, well, I wouldn't say make a move, but make a trade, but we did make a move. And we brought in former, see here.
Ryan.
Why don't I have the teams on here? I believe he played for the Bills and, oh God, I think the Titans. But Roger Saffold, offensive line, 35 years old. They're going to sign him into the practice squad, but with hopes of bringing him up to the 53-man roster. So my guess is probably a couple of games before we see him.
Depth move. Yeah, so here's my thing, and I we talked a little bit about it earlier. What are I'd like to know what the game plan is for this season. Are we going to capitalize on the success? Because a friend of mine was like, well, I feel like we're playing for 2024. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but what have we learned? There's no guaranteed season. You can play for 2024, but that could end up being like 2023.
Yep.
So you just can't like I get it, but you can't just always throw your eggs in one basket, right? When you're deciding to make your team competitive or just protecting your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd really like to understand what it is, like what the game plan is for the rest of this season. Are we trying to still make a push for the playoffs? Because that deal that Vikings made for Cleveland, we could have made that deal.
I would have gave up a 4th-round pick for that guy.
Yeah, or the 3rd. Give him the 3rd.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We don't have linemen, effective linemen. We don't have them. And you can keep talking about Dwayne Brown, but come on, the dude was a turnstile when he came back.
Oh yeah.
For the 1 or 2 games that he was playing. So I'm just like, I don't get it. If we're trying to capitalize on the recent success that this team is having, despite the injuries, despite not having Aaron Rodgers, they keep saying the goal is the playoffs, and yada yada yada. But you got to prove it.
Yep.
Look at what the Niners did today. They're like, listen, obviously we're not in the same category as the Niners, but their goal, you clearly see what their goal and objective is. They want to compete. They want to go to the championship. They want to, compete for Super Bowls, playoffs, all that jazz. What are we doing? Are we just playing to get through the season? Which kind of feels like we're doing at this point with no moves being made at the deadline. Or are we just kind of like, we'll just see what happens. And then we'll look forward to Aaron Rodgers next season. I just don't get it. And then if you couple that with maybe the possibility of Aaron Rodgers coming back, you're gonna put him behind this line? No, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, nah. I'll wait till next season, to where we've had a whole offseason to revamp the offensive line, get another receiver in here, yada yada yada. It's so I don't get the non-moves today. I don't get it. But I guess we'll see. I kind of ranted a little bit, but
no, that's fine.
No, that's perfect, honestly, because Brandon took the words pretty much right out of my mouth, and both of you guys did a great job of eloquently saying that, because I feel the same thing. Especially the first thing that came in my mind was Aaron Rodgers is going to sit behind this. Like we're talking Zach Wilson right now, but everybody keeps talking about Aaron Rodgers is coming back. He's coming back, and this is what he's going to come back to. You got to improve in some way, shape, or form. And I get they bring up somebody for the practice squad, and hopefully it works out. But I feel the entire plan for the Jets right now, it's almost like you're in Vegas, you're at the casino, you got your dice, and you're at the craps table, and you're hoping something sticks. And if they magically make the playoffs, it's almost like moral victories. If we make the playoffs, that's a win for us. Anything more than that is gravy. I think it's one of those, I think they felt like that the moment Aaron Rodgers...
Like house money, right? Like house money.
You're playing with house money a little bit. So you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, we have some picks. Now, probably a 7th-round pick, you give up a 3rd or a 4th, you probably have to chip in some extra money for whatever contract you're retaining at that point. So I don't know if Joe Douglas wants to take on more money than he already has on the table. I don't know if that's a factor at all in his mindset. But regardless if it is or if it isn't, you're still in a situation where I agree 100%, especially coming from the Niners, that the Niners have always had a plan. From the moment Kyle Shanahan became the coach, John Lynch became the GM, and even through all our coordinators, offensive and defensive, and especially our last two D coordinators, a.k.a. DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh, it was, you're going to build this one-of-a-kind defensive line first, then go to your linebackers, try the offense, and then sprinkle in the secondary later. Okay? So I'm used to that. And adding Chase Young today from the Commanders was just another component to this plan that the 49ers have had. The 49ers now, not to go off topic, but let's compare the Niners, even though it's two different positions and two different sides of the football, Niners D-line to the Jets O-line. Just how it's created. Bosa and Young, top two picks in their respective draft. You added Hargrave, who's one of the top D linemen in football. Then you corner them with now Eric Armstead, who we drafted, built up, and then we just got Randy Gregory from Denver a couple weeks ago, who's still learning the system, but this week he was a little bit better, more pressures. So there was absolutely no room for any defensive coordinator to say, we don't have the D-line to handle this. Can the Jets O-line coach say the same thing, regardless if it's Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, if it was Joe Flacco from last year or Mike White or whoever else? No. And even for that fact, look at Breece Hall. He's starting to come into his own this year after a slow start. You want him to run behind that? If you handicap Breece Hall...
He couldn't on Sunday. He couldn't run.
You handicap Breece Hall in this offense right now with how it's being run with Zach Wilson, who it's kind of a roller coaster ride. You're taking out... Sorry, Jets, you're taking out your Achilles heel. I know that might be too soon, but Aaron Rodgers is a magician. He's growing it back already, so don't feel too bad for yourselves. But you're playing with one hand behind your back. Can't do that. You have to think of your protection first, and regardless of Rodgers being here or not, go protect Zach Wilson and give him time. Give him the ability to not, freak out in the pocket before he even snaps the ball. So was a little surprising that the Jets, but am I shocked at the same time? No. What I am shocked with is the entire league, how everything was building up to Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams and this, and it collapsed.
Yeah.
What you do about nothing.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, lucky for the Jets. Oh, I would say lucky for the Jets. I guess we're kind of hoping we'll see in the next week or two. If we get Joe Tippmann back, that'll be huge. Hopefully Connor McGovern can make a comeback. Who's the center that came in for Newman? I believe his name was, after Connor went down.
Xavier Newman.
Yeah. I mean, I give the kid props. I mean, he held his own, for being a third string guy. I mean, he's probably going to be the guy out there for a couple of weeks. So hopefully he can hold down the fort. And like I said, hopefully McGovern can come back. And hopefully,
but you get what we're saying already, right? Like, you get kind of what we're saying.
No, yeah, I get
all this. Yeah.
No, I totally understand. I can get it from both sides. I can get it from the fan side. Man, we really need to make a move because this offensive line. I've said it on this show. Once you get past that starting five, it ain't shit. And when you get past the second stringer, there really ain't shit.
If your D line or your O line was a mirror image of the D line, just strength and technique and all the fundamentals, I don't think the O-line would be a question because your secondary is top-notch. Mm-hmm. Your D-line's great. Your linebacker's great. And if your O-line was at that level, I think you then would have come into this trade deadline and said, we need to find somebody to pair with Garrett Wilson. Right. Because even though Rodgers isn't there, and I'm going to guess when Rodgers is back, Lazard will be a component to this offense. But right now, he and Wilson aren't matching up. And I know Randy got a little trigger happy because he saw Cortland Sutton of the Broncos.
Oh, I did.
And you got hit by the bait on the trade bait. But for a moment there, I was like, because I got Sutton on a couple fantasy teams, and I'm like, you know what? This might make a little sense. He's not like a bona fide number two, but to pair with Wilson, it makes sense. But I don't think offense was the first priority for the Jets. And it shouldn't have been at this point.
Now, granted, like I said, or like we've all been saying, this offensive line is not that good, especially with the injuries. But at the same time, there are moments where Zach has those bonehead moments, where he could be helping out this offensive line. not holding on to that ball so damn long and not running back 10, 12 yards. Those are drive killing sacks, man.
Bramble mode.
That's Zach year 1 and 2, man. There was a big regression as far as that went this past week.
Yeah, those two plays. Yeah, you can't do that. Like that's rookie mistakes. But you got veterans making plays. Like Russell Wilson still holds the ball too long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not giving Zach an out, but I'm just saying like you can't do it, especially in situations where we're in position to score or we need to just throw the ball up. Just throw the ball up or throw it away.
Yep. That's another thing, especially when you're
I'm
scrambling.
yelling at the screen, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Just throw it away. It's okay to throw it away and live to play the next down and not gain anything rather than just freaking take a 10 to 12 yard sack and lose 10 to 12 yards.
Just don't be stupid and intentionally ground the ball.
You should know that by year 3, dude.
Right.
You should know that by year 3. I don't even care if you're that good. You should know that. That's fundamental football.
I will say Aaron Rodgers with the Packers, because we only seen him 4 plays with the Jets and not really anything so far. But in his Packers career, he was great about throwing balls away when something wasn't working. He did not like taking sacks. You saw him all the time throw it out of bounds, and he's yelling at his receivers, I had to do this because of your ineptitude, or the O-line. Your ineptitude led me to do this. I have my job. You have your job. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's also why he doesn't throw a shit ton of interceptions either, because he knows how to get rid of the ball.
And there's nothing, and I don't think there's anything from an outsider perspective that the coaching staff on the O-line could do for the Jets. I think you're having to work with what you have.
No, absolutely.
I don't think, no one should be saying, the coaching needs to be better or this. No, I think it's just injuries happen, and it's happening more and more with the Jets. And like Randy said, your first string is good enough. But then as soon as you get past that, yikes. Yep. A second injury, yikes. And you start, it's getting worse. So nothing coaching could do. It's just needing health.
I agree with you until I haven't loved the coaching by Hackett. I have not play calling. I have not, I guess I don't. It sounded like the same thing we've been talking about with the previous with Mike LaFleur. Know your personnel. Yeah. If you know that Zach is a off-script quarterback, roll out. Look at those plays he did on Sunday. The biggest passes of the game.
That 24 seconds, he looked elite, dude.
Were off-script passes. Rolling out of the pocket. Yeah. That one dime he threw, I didn't like that it was across the middle because we had like 9 seconds left.
Right.
But it was a dart.
But that's why we drafted him, for fucking plays like that. Because that's exactly what he did on his pro day. That rollout and that fucking dart down the field.
That's my point. Why don't we see more plays like that?
Exactly.
Design plays like that. You want him to stand there in the pocket and look for play. That dude has never played that way. If you look at him when he was with BYU, it was a lot of rollout, off-script plays. He didn't just stand back in the pocket and throw the ball. He's not your typical or orthodox pocket passer. That's the part that really frustrates me.
Yeah, you can't make him into something that he's not.
Right.
Like, let's be real. And again, this is going to be blood to the ears of Jets fans. Did Bill Belichick make Tom Brady a rollout, movable quarterback? No. He knew he was a pocket passer first and foremost and set the offense to that. Same thing with Peyton Manning. He had a couple rollouts, but Tony Dungy and the Denver Broncos and the Colts did not make him like that. When you have a player, regardless if it's Hall of Fame worthy or not, I completely agree with Brandon. You cannot force them into something they're uncomfortable with. You need to play to their strengths. 100%.
Yep.
That's for any team. Any team. So Hackett, you got to get better about that.
Yeah, he's got to be better at learning how to use, like you said, know your personnel. Why aren't we using Breece Hall? Like if you know he's not getting the yardage on, in the backfield, why not draw up plays with him out at receiver? Le'Veon Bell status, dude. Why aren't we in some instances?
Where are the screens?
Exactly. How about some Garrett Wilson in the slot every once and again?
But that's the point, though, Randy. The one play, the one touchdown that we did score on, was a check down to Brees, right? And he ran it all the way to the touchdown, right?
Yep.
If you know that Wink Martindale, he's the kind of guy that blitzes. He's a blitz happy guy. Why? I didn't see one screenplay that entire game.
Yeah. I think you're
What's
right.
great to Dalvin, or because Dalvin is a good screen catch and running back too. Neither one. They were bringing the house almost every time.
It's okay to go through your progressions, but when you have a blitz-happy opponent, it's okay to go to your first read. If it doesn't work and you see blitz, go to your emergency option. Who cares about check down 2 and 3? You have to get the ball away. You cannot, again, to the point, you can't make Zach Wilson go check 1, check 2, check 3. Oh, then my emergency option. Right. When you have 5 guys coming at him and he's got about a second and a half or less. Like, you can't ask any quarterback to do that. Sorry. I don't care if you're, freaking Mahomes. When you have a nice pass rush coming at you, you have a split-second of thing. Don't set Zach Wilson up to fail.
Yeah, they didn't seem to grasp that concept either, because they didn't seem to make any real adjustments on the offensive side of the ball.
No.
That second half, like it just.
And then the last part of the game, you see these throws. I'm like, where was this the whole game?
Yeah.
It's so unnerving. You're sitting there just like, where was this the whole game?
I sure would like to see some more no huddle during the games. You know what I mean? He does so well in that.
Who cares if it doesn't fit to the NFL's motto of you have to do this? If you got to be different to win,
who gives a shit?
Do it. That's one thing I hate with coaching staffs. It's like, well, we have, we set these plays in the week. It's like, this is not practice.
Yeah.
You have to adjust every single play. Even in the middle of a play, you have to adjust. Like, you can't just say, okay, we have a 50-play game script. We don't care what they do or what we do. We're going to go play 1, play 2, play 3, play 4. You will lose.
Yep.
You will lose.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of losing, and this is, I think losing will start happening very, very quickly, very soon, if these two areas don't get fixed. We're still very horrible on third down. We went 2 for 15 on Sunday. On the season, we are 22% on third down. We were 0-2 in the red zone on Sunday. We are 26% on the season in the red zone. We also had 9 penalties for 85 yards. Now, I don't know if anybody saw this post that I'm going to go down some numbers here real quick. Over the last 7 games, starting with the Bills, 5 for 13 on third down, 1 for 3 in the red zone. Cowboys, 1 for 10 on third down, 0 for 1 in the red zone. Patriots, 2 for 14 on third down, 1 for 1 in the red zone. Chiefs, 5 for 12 on third down, 2 for 3 in the red zone. Great game. Broncos, 3 for 12 on third down, 0 for 5 in the red zone. Eagles, 2 for 11 on third down, 1 for 4 in the red zone. Giants, 2 for 15 on third down, 0 for 2 in the red zone. We've only scored 1 touchdown in the red zone since the Chiefs game, dude. Now that's 20 for 87 on third down, 5 for 19 on the red zone on the season again. 22% on third down, 26% in the red zone. That is, I keep saying this week in, week out. That's not sustainable. That you will start losing games very quickly, and you will start this week if it continues.
This is the only thing I'm gonna say about this, because I have a feeling I'm gonna echo everything you two say. You got to improve that. Sorry, you want to win, improve it. That should be, if you only focused on that this week into the Chargers game, and you went from 2 for 14 on third down to, let's say, let's go 6 for 14 and get at least 4 extra first downs. Mm-hmm. Those 4 first downs could lead to a better red zone opportunity, which could move from 1 red zone to 2 red. Like, it's small things. So I'm going to say, if you're not focusing on that in practice, what are we doing here? But I know everything else you guys are going to say, I'm going to 100% agree with.
Let me tell you what else is going to happen. The same thing that happened last year. Our defense is playing like their hair was on fire most of the season. but then they got worn out
Yep.
towards the end of the season.
Yep.
Because we cannot sustain drives. You can't score, and the defense constantly has to pick up the offense. I mean, come on.
It's not like we didn't have good field position on Sunday.
Huh?
It's not like we didn't have good field position on Sunday.
We had great field position.
Thanks to Thomas Morstead.
We just could not. It's just, it's baffling to sit there and just watch this team with the talent that we have just constantly come up short or just look inept on offense. I was so frustrated, man. I was just watching this offense like, what do we have to do? Like it's just I'm sitting there like it does not look like an NFL caliber offense. But then the last 2 minutes of the game, we look better. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, anyway, that we have to figure that out. The Chargers are a team that can score.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We have to score. At some point, the defense is going to wear out if we keep doing what we're doing. If the offense keeps continuing to just fail and have the defense play majority of the game, which is what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's got to change. I mean, Hackett came out and he was vocal about it, about what they had to focus on during the bye week, and that was red zone and third down efficiency. Like they knew it. Like, so I mean, did you know it and not freaking work on it? Like, because I mean, Sunday it showed like you guys didn't touch on it at all.
2 weeks to prepare, dude.
2.
Yeah.
And this is what they had to show for it.
Yeah.
I mean, were we overlooking the Giants, thinking we were just going to whoop on them, focus on San Diego?
Maybe.
I mean, that was
like I want to know. Like I'd like to know from an outsider's perspective. Dom, like just you hear what Randy and I are saying, and the Jets have had 2 weeks to prepare for this. 9 penalties for 85. I mean, the penalties were just hard. Like the one penalty, like on Jermaine Johnson, the quarterback was still upright.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whistle hadn't been blown. I don't understand that call, but still, Michael Clemens, offsides. You can't do that. But my point is,
they were about ready to punt right there too, weren't they?
Yeah, they're ready to punt.
Game of first down.
But it's just like we looked unprepared.
Very
unprepared. And unfortunately, that is on coaching. That piece of it is on coaching. So I'd like to know, Don, what you think. I don't know how much of the game you watched on Sunday, but just kind of what you saw from an outside perspective, what you saw from that game from the Jets.
To me, I'm the product of somebody that believes if you have a bye week, the first game coming out of that bye week, you should automatically be the dominant team. I don't care if you are undefeated or are winless. You should be the dominant team on the jump. Because this year for the 49ers, they've had that twice happen to them. They went into Cleveland. Cleveland had a bye week. Cleveland jumped on them. Same thing Cincinnati this past week. Cincinnati had a break. Joe Burrow got healthy. They jumped on the Niners. Oopsie. 2 losses with teams coming off a bye week against us. Hopefully we can give that to Jacksonville next week. But from what I saw from the Jets overall, they're lucky Tyrod Taylor did not play that entire game. Because I think if Tyrod plays, Jets lose. He was at least doing something. He was doing something because, come on, their backup quarterback, I don't even remember what his name was, -1 passing yards. Like,
was it Mike DeVito?
DeVito. Like, he was, all they were doing.
Oh, it was a Saquon show.
It was the Saquon. And what I loved in one of those last drives before the Jets got the ball back to win, and DeVito was sitting there, and it was third and 28 or third and 18 or something, third and long. And you saw immediately he goes back to pass. And the Jets defense doesn't even go to the wide receivers. They all clamor in at Saquon. And I'm like, that's good defense. You know he's not going to go try to throw a 50-yard bomb to win this game. Right. He's going straight the safest route to run as much clock out. So that's good mentality. Overall in this game, we've talked about this, and this is the first thing I saw right away, and we harped on this last week. Enough of the slow starts.
Yep.
You can't afford that, and it all circles back to what Brandon said. you're going to wear out this defense. And this defense is top 5 in football. Easily. Top 5 in football when all is healthy, all is well. This is a top 5 defense. You're going to make them a top 15 defense if you keep doing what you're doing. Low-scoring games happen all the time. Mm-hmm. Greg the Leg did his business in regulation and overtime, great. Mm-hmm. But it's the Jets have the ability to go deep. They need to do the right things and stop, Randy, you and I talk about this all the time with the Angels for baseball. Stop getting in your own way.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop. You have the talent. You know what the playbook is. Expand on the playbook a little bit if you're the coaches. If something doesn't work, try something new. Don't try to beat a dead horse with a hammer and see, maybe this time it'll bring it back to life.
Yeah.
No. Stop with the slow starts. Offense needs to stay on the field and be better, as Randy said, on third downs and red zone opportunities. It's not really anything different. It's not like, I got to dissect this really deeply. It's literally straight, basic things that need to be done. That was the most that I saw from the Jets. Because we were all chatting during the game. It was like, y'all gonna lose this game. And you guys talked about, how the Jets are notoriously horrible after a bye week.
Yeah.
And I told you after the first time in the second quarter or something, I was like, no, it's okay. You'll fine. Then in the third and fourth quarter, I'm like, maybe I'm going to be proven right. And I'm texting Randy, I'm like, so these picks this week are dumb because of your Jets. And then they win. And I'm like, it's just the simple things. Do the simple things right, and the Jets can thrive.
That's a good point. We've mastered making the simple things look hard.
Yeah.
Like, do what you did. Breece Hall's touchdown, you talked about it, Brandon. Simple screen pass. You made the simple look great. Do that. If anything else doesn't work, again, this is going to be, I just said don't beat a dead horse. I'm going to beat a dead horse here. You have Garrett Wilson. Utilize it. Open the playbook. Do something different. I know the O-line's got its issues. Run a little trickery. Do something to throw the defense off so they back up a little bit so they're not constantly blitzing. Again, simple things done right, and the Jets can thrive. That's what I saw. Straightforward.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't tell me you run some screens that you feed Breece Hall a couple of times on, though, that he's not going to give you some long yardage, if not maybe a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw on that play, like, he don't care about contact, dude. He will run right through you. He doesn't give a shit.
You know what last thing on all this, and I think it's because I see it a lot with the 49ers, and I think the Jets could do this, and especially with their issues on the O-line. Your wide receivers need to be more committed to blocking. Because when we have Debo full healthy, Ayuk, Kittle, Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod, the Niners, when they do these run packages and the different movement and swing packages, you have wide receivers putting bigger blocks on defenders than O-line guys because they're coming in with speed and creating these gaps. Now, this could be more of a scheming thing for Nathaniel Hackett, and maybe that's more of an off-season thing where you got to incorporate that. But I think Lazard, Cobb, when he plays, especially your two tight ends, Conklin and Ruckert, and people like that, I think you need to utilize your receivers. Maybe not so much Garrett Wilson because he's wide receiver one. Mm-hmm. Unless you're going on a full-out run package, we're going 12-play drive, 11 plays run, 1 play pass. Like, unless you're doing a package like that, I think if the Jets receivers can block better than what they have been, maybe that alleviates a little pressure off the O-line and creates an extra gap.
Well, that's why you should play Jeremy Ruckert more. He is a great run-blocking tight end.
Yeah. Use a two tight end set.
We lost our best blocking wide receiver to retirement. Corey Davis was a great wide receiver.
I would be begging him to come back. I would be.
Yeah, he was a great blocking wide receiver.
So you guys get what I'm saying. I think
absolutely.
Blocking is. I think it's an art that a lot of wide receivers in this era, the Justin Jeffersons, the Jamar Chases, the Devontae Adams when he's not in Oakland, as I say, Raider. When you have these premier wide receivers, and they are the type of guys getting 10 receptions, 150 yards, double touchdowns, you don't see Tyreek Hill making blocks. Come on, stop
Right.
it. You know, he's jetting out 70 yards, getting a Tua catch. Sorry, Jets fans, but you're not seeing that. Sorry. So if the Jets can incorporate that, even a couple extra, 2 tight ends, since Conklin's not getting much targets, utilize him blocking. Use Ruckert as well.
He should be getting more targets. He's been pretty damn good this year.
Yeah. So I think if you, again, simple things right, you can thrive. Get your receivers to block more because of the O-line issues, and try to maybe create something out of nothing, and then maybe we can talk about Nathaniel Hackett being a hero. Yeah. And maybe get the Jets O-line off life support and get them to like the nice ICU that's like sexy for the celebrities. Like, let's get there. Yeah. Take them off life support.
Yeah. As we finish up here on the Giants game, I'll let you guys get any final thoughts, but it's just really ugly freaking game. A game we really shouldn't have won, man. I mean, there was at one point I was telling my friend Lacey here, I was like, I wouldn't blame you if you want to go ahead and go home. I was like, I was getting ready to start doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, they stopped them on that fourth down or whatever. It's like, oh shit, okay, here we go. But the injuries are the big one. I think are the big story coming out of this game. I mean, all that sloppiness football, and you lose guys on top of it. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: with the loss of Al Wood, granted, we do have depth on this D line. I think it's probably a good thing we didn't trade Lawson away.
I agree.
Yeah. Same thing with Cook.
Woods was our best run stuffer, though.
Absolutely.
He was our best run stopper.
And
he's going to be missed.
Yeah. And I'm going to say the same thing about Dalvin Cook. As much as I've harped on him this season, going into these later months, who knows what could happen. And last year we lost Brees, and in-house we had Bam Knight and Michael Carter, and we still bitched at Joe Douglas to go out and get a guy. And I think he bit on the pressure, and that's when he went out and got Ty Johnson. We don't need to do that this year. So I think it's a good thing we kept Dalvin Cook, because we still have Michael Carter. We have Ibanaconda that can contribute if he comes back soon. So, but I'm just glad we kept these guys, because the Jets right now, they're not a team that could just be shipping dudes away right now, with the depth problems we have. So I'm glad Joe Douglas stuck to his guns on those guys. Still, like I said, it sucks a little that we didn't make a move, O-line or whatever. We did, like I said, we still brought in Roger Saffold, but it's still got to get better, guys. It's still got to get better.
Hey, the deadline's gone. It's over with, done. And it's Charger.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Charger week.
Absolutely.
And what is it? Monday Night Football Charger week.
Absolutely.
It is.
So, any final thoughts on the Giants-Jets game, fellas?
Well, for me, we just got to be better. We have to figure out a way to take more shots down the field, and just look somewhat average. Mm-hmm. That's all Jet fans are asking. We're not asking for the greatest show on turf or elite offense. We would love that. Don't get me wrong. We just want an average offense.
We can't get 40% on third downs and in the red zone. Just 40%.
Average.
I want 50%, but I just take 40% at this point. But real quick, go ahead.
For me, my final takeaway is this: tip of the cap. You guys won a game that you probably shouldn't have won, and you're 4-3, and that's two, and that's a couple in a row, baby.
That's 3 in a row, baby.
So tip of the cap to you guys.
3-game win streak. And before we move on, I do want to shout out, because we wouldn't have won this game, I don't think, had it not been for our special teams, man. So a shout out to Greg the Leg, and a shout out to Big Time. And I'm going to give him honorary player of the game. I should have gave it to him originally. I ended up giving it to Garrett Wilson, because it's hard for me to turn away a 100-yard performance, even though you don't got no touchdown. That's hard for me to turn away. But Thomas Morstead, everybody give him a round of applause. Come on, guys. Thomas Morstead.
Special teams is a part of it.
He had to punt 11 times. He pinned the Giants inside the 20 4 of those times. There were 24 punts in this game, gentlemen.
Did you notice his post game?
Yeah.
Man, dude was emotional. Like So this is one thing I'll say
He's a good dude.
about Solomon that I think, and we can move on after this. Sorry, guys.
Absolutely.
That I think doesn't get enough notoriety. They play for him. They play hard for Solomon.
Yes.
He
Yes,
has
They play hard for
100%.
him.
Absolutely.
And
I know that from experience when he was on the Niners.
yeah, dude, they play hard for this guy, man. And
One heartbeat. Man.
listening to these guys talk about family, and you can tell they really mean it. Like, he was emotional after the game. Like, he was almost to tears. Morstead was talking about just how much he loves his team.
Yep.
And it's not just him. Other players have talked about how much they love this team, how much, despite adversity, they've remained together. They've stuck together. And I'm sorry, that's on coaching and obviously leadership in the locker room.
Yep.
But that shouldn't go unnoticed, in my opinion.
Hey,
Oh,
the Niners missed that right now. We went from Saleh to DeMeco Ryans, who basically were very similar. One heartbeat. Players love to play for him. No offense. Yeah, the Niners are 5-3, and their defenses looked really good, and then the defenses look not great. I haven't really heard many defensive players. They all talk about we're a family, we support each other. But where is, Steve Wilkes in that statement, our D coordinator? He's up in the booth calling the game. Every other D coordinator we have has been in the trenches. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying about Robert Saleh, and now he as a head coach, normally the defense is just used to him. Now that's exuberating everywhere else. I tell you, Saleh's a guy, man. He is a guy. This is a coach you want to have around, man. I really believe that.
Absolutely. Yeah. We see it. We saw it on Hard Knocks. We see it every week in the press conferences. Like, he is all about his dudes. Like, he don't give a shit about guys on other teams. Nope. I mean, he'll say, the guys I have in this room, these are the guys I want. I don't care about nobody else. You are my guys. Yep. You go to bat for me, I will go to bat for you. I 100% agree. I love having Robert here. He's probably one of the best Jet head coaches we've had probably since Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan wasn't even that good. He just had he had
a moxie.
Defensive coordinator.
Yeah, like Robert Saleh's like Dan Campbell of the Lions. Like, I feel you just kind of as a player you run through a wall for that guy. He supports you no matter what. He'll fire up the team, and he'll get emotional about punters.
Yep.
Punters will get emotional about their coach. Like, it just has that same mindset.
When do you see that, right? You don't know when punters getting so emotional about their coach or their teammates. It's just, Yep. This team is stuck together. You can see it on the. I mean, you can tell if you were to tell me after what we've been through that we'd be 4-3, a game over 500, I would not have believed you. So something, that's a testament to the team sticking together, throughout all of this. So,
absolutely.
Man, I did talk to the coaching staff.
I did tell Randy after that faithful Monday night after Rodgers went down, I said, if you guys ever make it at least above 500 at least once this year, there's a positive to take away from that. I know I'm not a huge moral victory person, but we're at that time now. It only took 7 weeks, but you're at that 4-3 mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're over 500. So there's something to be said about this little trifecta 3-game winning streak here. So.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we win 9 games, and especially if we make the playoffs, Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year. Absolutely. I mean, you lose your Hall of Fame quarterback 4 snaps into the fucking season, and you still win 9 games or even make the playoffs, you're absolutely
This is the NFL.
And Aaron Rodgers getting comeback player of the year, by the way.
This is the NFL. This is the NFL. They will not look at nothing against the Jets. They will not look at the Jets. They're going to look. I can already tell what the NFL script that gets leaked every year, the joke. I could totally see them going right to either Dan Campbell because of the Lions. I could see them going to Zach Taylor of the Bengals because, Cincinnati started so horribly, and then they're going to ascend at the right time, and he made it happen. It's like, no, Joe Burrow got healthy, and Jamar Chase figured out how to catch a ball. It's like, it's 1+1, folks. Like, the NFL script will get leaked, and I'm sorry, the Jets won't be on it because they're not sexy enough for the NFL.
We're used to it.
Yeah, we sure are.
Yeah.
So that's our Giants-Jets review. Again, glad we won. I'll take a win any way we can get it. I'll never turn down a victory. I don't give a
Good,
shit.
bad, or ugly. That's why
Absolutely,
these
dude.
victory Mondays and Tuesdays are just, they taste a little different, man.
But I will say to the fans who always sit there and say, hey, shut up and just enjoy the victory, I will never shut up and just enjoy a victory. If there's shit that's glaring that needs to be talked about, we're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty about this team that's this team is not ready to make it. They're not a playoff team. Not right now. Not when you're pushing 22% on third down and 26% in the red zone. You're not a playoff team if you can't fucking score, guys. That's just how it is.
The title of this episode should be like, we won, but we're a work in progress. ... Still.
So yeah. Anyways, had no business winning it, but we won it, and we'll take it. So we're gonna go ahead and move on with our weekly predictions. Now it's like Dominic said, man. This is just another one of those weeks. It was kind of hard to pick. There was a couple of games where I had to gloss over them, go on to the next one, and come back to them, and still couldn't figure it out.
Welcome to Vegas. We've now hit the craps and roulette table here.
All right, so starting off on Thursday night, this is one of those games I was just talking about until I really started thinking about it and thinking about the previous week. But we got Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is favored by 3.5 at home. But after what I saw with Tennessee, and Pittsburgh let me down, you said Kenny Pickett might not even play. Not that I trust him anyway. I'm going with Tennessee. Give me the 3.5 points as far as Tennessee goes, and I'm thinking somewhere like 24-17, 24-20.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee too. For basically all the reasons you just said. The Steelers have been winning in spite of their quarterback play. I feel like Titans are going to ride this momentum from this game, and I think it'll be a close one. But I think they'll come out a close one because of Steelers defense, and I think they'll come out on top. I'm thinking maybe 20-17.
And Pittsburgh typically plays pretty well at home.
Yeah, it's one. Most of the Thursday night games this year have been very close matchups.
Yes.
So I feel this one's going to be close. Kenny Pickett questionable right now. Derrick Henry for Tennessee, who did not get traded, he's got a knee soreness injury. They said he's probably going to be good for Thursday, but check back in ASAP. It's Derrick Henry. He'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
Their new quarterback looked very good. DeAndre Hopkins, like a Halloween skeleton, came out of the grave for Tennessee out of nowhere. My only fear in this game, is Tennessee going to have, like Brandon said, ride the wave, or are they going to have a hangover? And is Pittsburgh going to attack a quarterback in his second career game? That's where I think the situation lies. But Pittsburgh 4-2, Tennessee 2-4. The record, I want to say Pittsburgh. Oh, again.
4-3 Pittsburgh.
Oh, pardon me, 4-3 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't update the record.
Yeah, it didn't update here. I'm gonna go in line with you guys. I think it's a tight battle. Pittsburgh's defense has more points on the board than the Pittsburgh offense if Trubisky plays. If Trubisky ends up being the quarterback, and I'm not going to do what we did a couple weeks ago with, if Trubisky or Pickett's in. No. It's not like we're dealing with, come on. It's virtually the same. It's like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
You? I think if Trubisky does play, Tennessee has a higher chance of winning this game. But I could see Pittsburgh having a fumble recovery touchdown or a pick six. But I'll take Tennessee in this game by a very, very thin thread. Close game, though.
All right, clean sweep on the Titans. All right, let's see if we got a little parity here. Moving on to Sunday, first game on the docket. Miami at Kansas City.
And remember, not at Kansas City.
Oh, that's right.
They're drinking some beers with their lederhosens in Germany, folks.
That's right.
Frankfurt.
That's right.
Yep.
So, shit. I totally forgot that. Kansas City. You know what? That doesn't matter, because I've said this on the show, and I think it was week 2.
Oh.
Where I said I don't pick against Patrick Mahomes and company when it comes to back-to-back losses. and they showed
Yeah.
me why I'm going to continue going that route, because they don't lose back-to-back games, and they're not going to start here. I think Kansas City's going to win this game. I think it's going to be close. I think Kansas City's going to show up this week. I think they're a little pissed off. I think this is going to be a little high scoring. I'm talking like in the 60s. I'm talking 34-30 Kansas City. By the way, Kansas City's favored by 2.5.
I'll let you go down.
No, thank you. So I feel very similarly about this game to the Pittsburgh-Tennessee game. It's like I agree. Kansas City is not known for losing back-to-back games. But what I saw from them is that a hangover game against the Broncos, they were pissed off. It was a snow game. Mahomes had the flu, and of course everybody gave him an excuse. But, Brock Purdy gets 2 freaking concussions, and, he's horrible.
Suck it up.
Hey, if you compare Brock Purdy stats with Jalen Hurts, they're virtually very close. Just putting that out there. Miami, I think, has the better stacked offense on paper than Kansas City. So on paper, I want to say Miami. But 2 weeks ago, I said Miami's going to go win-loss with this teams above 500 type situation that they're flowing in. I want to create parity with you guys. But knowing my dumbass, Mahomes and Kelsey are just going to double flip me the bird. God, I wish Brandon went first. But you know what?
You know you want to pick
Strike me down, God. Strike me down. I think this might be the week the Dolphins get a win against a big team.
Oh, woo! Pick the Dolphins.
I think this, like I said, this week out of all season long is going to be the hardest for me to pick. And I think if I sat and waited last night and looked more into it, I was going to go Chiefs. Something about this game is telling me Miami. I don't know why. I think Mahomes and Kelsey are going to have that massive game. And unless somebody besides Kelsey steps up for the Chiefs, hell no. I think Tyreek goes crazy. Remember, Tyreek against his old team. Don't tell me he's not going to want to put 7 catches for 170 yards and a pair of tutties. So give me Miami in a huge scoring game. I got to create some parity. I would rather be wrong and be off parity on this game than Tennessee-Pittsburgh. Sorry. Especially in a game like this, Tua, Mahomes, Germany, Tyreek. It has that makings of a massive game. So in a coin flip, I'll be different. We'll see how, see how Brandon feels, but I might be the oddball one on this one.
You're not. Actually, I was picking Miami too.
Oh! Thank you.
I was picking Miami too.
Wow, all right, cool.
I don't know. I just feel like
Something
Chiefs, they've just been...
Is Taylor Swift going to be there? Because she wasn't, and they lost. She's back on tour this weekend in Argentina. I'm not saying I follow her, but that's what the social media, everything talking on Sunday. She's in Argentina. The Swifties are like, she can only make it to one of the final 8 games. And I'm like, who gives? And if that's the case, if she's not there and they lose, bring it on.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins on this one. This is a pick'em game, honestly, in my opinion. Dolphins, I will say, Dolphins have a ton of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't have A-Chain. Mostert is dealing with an ankle. Ramsey is trying to come back for this game. But this offense is elite, and so, and I don't trust in the Chiefs' defense that much. I mean, Zach Wilson threw all over them.
Yep.
Both teams, I feel, need to prove something.
They do.
And they're both on the defense. Because we both know, all three of us know, both teams can put up 30 points.
Well, statistically, Miami has the worst defense between the two.
So they have more to prove defensively. I'm not saying that's the reason why I'm picking them, but...
The Chiefs are second in points allowed. Miami's 25th.
Brandon, don't make me turn. Don't make me turn. Don't do it. La, la, la. I think Brandon might have maybe turned himself.
No, I mean, yards allowed. Kansas City's 4th. Miami's 15th.
I will say if this game wasn't in Kansas City at Arrowhead, I'd take the Chiefs.
Yeah, right.
But neutral site in a different country, prime time for Germany. But, something weird.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins have been hearing all week that they can't beat good teams. Or, for the past 2 or 3 weeks that they can't beat good teams. So, yeah, I'm gonna stay with my pick with Miami and see what happens.
I think Brandon and I can agree that if we're wrong on this, we'll gladly take it on the chin against Randy. He can finally.
You know what? It's for Randy and I can appreciate that we can benefit from either one of these teams, the Jets.
Yeah,
that is
true.
With
that too.
I'll take a tie.
In a weird way, it is a little bit of a win-win somehow, some way. However you boil it down. So, all right, cool.
All right, so we got 2 Dolphins and me with the Chiefs. All right. Now the next game we got Minnesota at Atlanta. Now, I changed my pick since I've originally did this. Atlanta is favored by 4.5. It is in Atlanta. I originally picked Atlanta, but when I found out that the Arizona Cardinals traded. Oh God, who was that guy that was playing quarterback?
Josh Dobbs, but Dobbs isn't playing. He's not playing.
He's not playing?
Vikings already said they're going to start their rookie, whatever his name is. They're going to pass Nick Mullins because I think Mullins is hurt. So they're going to their 3rd string over Dobbs because he's just going to get there, not going to have enough time. So that probably just changed.
I'm Atlanta this one.
Yeah, me too, Atlanta. They're probably going to start Tyler Heineke. And Heineke has some... He looked pretty good in that second half, even though they lost to Tennessee. I think he's a better passer than Ritter, and the coach is not sold on Ritter. Atlanta at home, just because of the Minnesota quarterback situation.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, join the Falcon bandwagon here for this pick. I feel you.
I've been picking the Falcons all year.
All right, so do it again.
Who's the quarterback from Minnesota again? God.
Minnesota Vikings QB. No. Oh, Jaron Hall.
You say he's a rookie?
Jaron Hall. They trade for Josh Dobbs, but Jaron Hall will start quarterback at Falcons. Jaron Hall will make his first career NFL start.
But will he finish the game?
Hall is 25. He has experience replacing an established starter. He backed up current Jets quarterback Zach Wilson for 2 years at BYU.
Give me the Falcons.
I didn't have to sell too much on that one. All you had to say was BYU.
Oh, yeah, give me the Falcons. Damn it. Here, I thought I was going to steal one.
We're just trying to help you out, bro. We don't want you to get further down in the depths.
Oh, man.
Come on. We're trying to make this a competitive pick.
So that's
a clean sweep. That's
a clean sweep for the Falcons?
And I think the next one, I think we're going to have a clean sweep if I had a prediction.
Yeah, we got Arizona at Cleveland. Cleveland favored by 7.5. Yeah, Cleveland.
Hey, Mavericks in the background, and the Browns are the Brownies and the Dogs. Give me some Maverick and the Browns.
Oh, man. I don't think that... Yeah, I think the points are spot. I don't think that game's going to be that close.
Exactly.
Brandon, you got the Browns? The Brownies?
Yes.
Okay. Who's quarterbacking for the Cardinals? Kyler Murray?
Is he back?
They said he's off the IR. They said if he has a good week of practice, he has a shot at going. If not, it's going to be their 3rd string QB too.
Oh,
yeah. So I think it's going to be against the Browns. They're not going to put Kyler Murray welcome back and go against the Browns.
No, yeah,
I don't think so.
They're going to feast
on
the Browns.
Yeah, Browns will get another dub.
All right, so clean sweep on the Browns. Moving on, we got the Rams at the Packers. Straight up for me, I said I ain't picking the Packers anymore. This is the Rams. They are the better team, although Green Bay is favored by 3.5 according to what I got here.
Matthew Stafford might be out. He's got a thumb injury.
Oh, he better suck it up and play.
Like I said, injuries are riddling these picks this week.
I'm still...
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Who's the Rams back up?
Ripken. And he threw all right to, like, Higbee and the running back and a little bit to Cooper. Like, he didn't look overly inept.
He's got weapons, though, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Rams, for sure.
I have a family friend who's going to be at the game at Lambeau, and she's a diehard Packer fan, like, born and raised in Green Bay. I don't want to say in spite of her, but... and I would love the Rams to lose within the division, but... I think this is going to be a get-right week for Cooper Kupp. Not just because I have him in 2 of 3 fantasy leagues. So go Rams!
And Jordan Love just sucks, so I'll throw that out there. That's right.
It was next.
We got the Rams on us. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots. New England is favored by 3.5 according to this. I mean, Washington just traded Chase Young. I mean,
Mac Jones might feel safe this week.
Yeah.
And the Commanders traded Sweat. They traded both their D-line guys, so it's going to be a very lackluster pass rush.
Yeah, it sounds like Washington might be looking toward next year. Although at 3-4,
it very weird.
Yes, it is. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Give me the Patriots in this one. I think it'll be closer. The Patriots aren't that good. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of like 20-17. But give me the Patriots on a close one, field goal game.
Brandon, go for it.
Why you do this to me, Dom? You know I don't want.
Hey, you gave me the Dolphins Chiefs, so I'll even out here at this one. Come on, you know why I gave it to you? Because the Patriots are within your division.
And we're talking about your
Commanders.
Commanders.
Commanders don't treat me right.
That all right?
They treat me like the Bengals treat Randy.
Well, you said you're never picking them again.
Give me the Commanders.
Oh man!
You know, I'll make this worse for Brandon.
I could taste first place.
Give me the Commanders.
Are you serious?
Patriots defense is. I'm not believing in their defense. Too many injuries, and even without the pass rush, they do give up a lot of yards receiving. Kendrick Bourne, questionable top receiver for the Pats. He ain't in. Yeah, you got Devontae Parker. There's still no Juju Smith-Schuster. Not enough weapons. Stevenson is not... The running game's unaware for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Pats are at home, and I should be picking the Pats, but Sam Howell...
Not the same Pats.
Yeah, not the same Pats. So I think the offense for the Commanders is intact. I think Ron Rivera figures out a way. It's going to be maybe an ugly game, but... I'll take Commanders.
Yeah, definitely not a good game.
Because the Commanders, with the Eagles playing the Cowboys, they could smell gaining the game up on somebody.
Yeah, you know I don't want to pick them. You know I don't want to pick them already.
Yeah, I know. So that was another reason why. But I will join the Brandon bandwagon on that one for the Commanders.
No, that's beautiful. That's music to my ear because I know when Brandon picks Washington, they lose, and they're definitely losing now that he's picked them. So that's a dub for me right there, dude. Going undefeated.
Fair enough.
All right, moving on. Game of the week: Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints.
Thanks.
We got the Saints favored by 6.5. Yeah, I'm not picking the Chicago Bears anymore. They let me down hard. I thought they were going to rally behind that rookie quarterback.
Kamara's hot. Derek Carr's figuring it out. They're riding this wave right now. Come on, and they're at home at the Superdome.
Oh yeah. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, Saints.
Chicago sucks. All right, moving on. Next, we got Brandon Seattle Seahawks at the Baltimore Ravens, and Baltimore is favored by 5.5, which I don't know, it's kind of surprising to me. I figured out like 2.5, 3.5 points, but 5.5. Okay. Seattle's 5-2 after winning last week. Baltimore did win, although they beat up on a really shitty Arizona team.
They should have killed them more.
Yeah. Honestly, I wanted to pick Seattle, but ultimately I went with Baltimore. I don't know.
It's a tough game.
It is a tough game.
It's not.
I don't even know where to go.
I'm bitter. The Niners need help. Lamar Jackson, don't be dumb.
Don't pick with your heart, Dom. Don't pick with your heart. Pick with your head.
Don't pick with your heart, bro.
I've learned that.
This is the 1 week I need my heart to beat the right way. This is the 1 week. The Niners need they need a win. The Niners haven't had a win in 3 weeks. They need a moral victory. I know I say I'm not a moral victory person, but this win would not only be moral, but it would help in the standings. Baltimore.
Well, think about it like this. Seahawks went up against a top defense.
Yep.
And won.
Cleveland gave him that game. Sorry.
Maybe.
They just needed 1 first down.
Yeah.
And you give it back with, what, a minute and a half? You dumb.
I mean, I get it, but...
I know. It's a heart pick. This one's a bitter heart pick against a division rival. That's all it is. If they weren't in my division, the Seahawks, I'd maybe think differently. But I'm gonna play the old cat lady bitter card here. Give me the Ravens. I have to.
Give me the Ravens because they're at home.
Okay. All right. Please sweep with the Ravens.
Only because they're at home. If they were in Seattle, I'd pick Seattle.
Thank you for joining my bitter rant of my.
I think I would have too. If it was in Seattle, I think I probably would have picked the Hawks.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a tough place to play. All right, clean sweep with the Ravens. Moving on, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Brandon's Houston Texans. Houston's favored by 2.5.
Oh my gosh, it's another one.
It's in Houston.
This Texans team is going to show up.
That's the thing, man. You
that's
never
the problem.
tell with this team. They are definitely a team that's got a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. I mean, they're hot and cold. They were cold this week. I don't know. Tampa Bay just seems like the more talented team.
If Chris Godwin looks up, they win Thursday against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, and there was pass interference. That's a whole nother story about refs. But Godwin just looked up about 2 seconds earlier. He would have had a gift, and Baker would have been a hero.
Absolutely. I don't know. I just think Texans are one of them young teams. I think as the season progresses, I think you'll start seeing them start losing more and more. I just don't think they're built, to sustain the success that they've sort of been having this year. They're definitely a 7-10, maybe even an 8-9 type of team. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on this one. I do like the points here at 2.5. Even though Houston's favored, so I'm gonna run with that. Give me Tampa Bay. I don't know, 24, 22 to 20, something like that.
Yeah, Bucks have lost 3 straight.
Who's that?
Bucks have lost 3 straight.
No kidding. Yeah, I think they're due for a win then.
Yeah, I'm on the pirate shit train. Give me Baker. Give me Tampa. They'll figure it out on the road.
Give me the Bucks. I watched the Houston Texans win.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, clean sweep on the Bucks. All right, moving on. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Carolina Panthers.
Colts.
Colts are favorite.
Did that come out? I'm sorry. Hey, congrats for Carolina for winning their first.
Think about it first, though.
Hey, congrats to Carolina. There's going to be no 0-win team in football this year.
Yep.
So good for them.
So you boys got the Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts as well.
Their run game is stout.
Yeah.
With Taylor and Moss now.
I think it'll be a little. I don't think it'll be 2.5. I think Indy wins this more like by a touchdown or so. Give me something like 24-17, something like that. So clean sweep of the Colts.
All right.
Moving on, we got the New York Giants at the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas is favored by 2.5. This one was a little tough for me to pick. I still don't even have it circled.
I concur with Brandon if that's his pick.
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders.
Silver and black. They're a little more put together, and Giants. If DeVito's quarterbacking again.
No, that's Daniel Jones. He's
Yeah.
back.
Oh well, even better, Daniel Jones though.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Devontae Adams maybe having a coming out party again after.
Better
sitting up a
receiver,
storm.
slightly better quarterback play. Yeah, give me the Raiders. Better defense, I think. So clean sweep of the Raiders. Moving on, a little NFC East action. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oof. Good grief.
Yeah, this one, another one of those games that was tough. But ultimately, I think the NFL wants to keep Dallas in this playoff race, so I think we might see a little referee help as far as the Cowboys go. So give me the Cowboys in this. Close game. I'm something like, I don't know, 20-17, 24-20, something like that. But give me the Cowboys.
The reason why I'm picking the Eagles is because I don't think, with Diggs out, Dallas has a stop for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, out of all wide receivers in the NFL, he's probably having one of the most dominant seasons, if not the most. I don't know if Dallas has it. Dallas, they stopped a struggling Rams team who Stafford went out after the second quarter. They're kind of the Miami Dolphins a little bit. Well, they'll beat up on the bad, except for Arizona, and be okay against the good or bad against the good. Divisional rival in Philly. Randy and I know this one. Mike Trout will probably be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Give me Philly in this one. Jalen Hurts finds a way, but I just don't think Dallas has an answer to A.J. Brown. And if they do, Devontae Smith will find a way to get in there. But A.J. Brown is the guy.
I'm going Eagles too, because they're at home.
Okay.
All right. So Dom and Brandon with the Eagles, and I'm sitting lonely with the Cowboys. You motherfuckers better not let me down.
America's team!
They better be America's team that day. All right, moving on. Sunday Night Football. We got the Buffalo Bills at my Cincinnati Bengals. My Bengals are favored by 2.5.
Going Bengals.
Going Bengals? Dom?
This is the makeup DeMar Hamlin game from last year. Cincinnati's getting hot at the right time. You're welcome, Bengals Nation, or whatever, Houday, whatever you call yourselves. Buffalo has won games, but they haven't been dominant. Barely beat Tampa. I think Cincinnati at home. Burrow's healthy. We saw him run this past week against the Niners. His cap looks 100% healthy. I'm leaning to the home team. They spanked my Niners, so why should I go against them? So this one, though, I think will live up to the hype. Allen, Burrow, Diggs, Chase. I think it'll live up to that hype. Yeah. As they called him in LSU, Big Dick Joe. Joe Burrow. Go get it done.
I've said it in the past. Buffalo's weaker on the defensive side. Just depends on what, if you're going to get Josh Allen that shows up making bonehead plays or the Josh Allen that's elite. I mean, you never know. Cincinnati's favored by 2.5.
You know you want to pick the Bengals. You know you want to pick your Bengals. You know you do. Look at Randy's face.
He talked himself into it.
I'm going to Bengals.
Yep.
All right.
And you motherfuckers let me down. I will never pick you.
All for one and one for all with this pick. When it comes to the Bengals no, Randy did not join the bitter bandwagon of the Commanders and the Bengals. Brandon and I stayed tough with the bitter bandwagon. So, let's go.
Yep.
And I really want Buffalo to lose. We need Buffalo to lose.
And that's at least the games within your division this week are good matchups where it could help either way.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, moving on to the final game of the week. The game of the week, Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Chargers at the New York Football Jets. The Chargers are favored by 2.5.
Of course.
I mean, you guys already know where I'm going. You know how I do this. I'm going to continue to do it. I think the Jets have a chance to win this game if they can be better on third down and better in the red zone. If not, they're not going to win this game. It's just hands down. They will not win this game if they don't improve in those areas by at least 20% in each area. So they got some work to put in. But I think they have a chance. But I'm going to go ahead, like I did last week, pick against the Jets, pick the Chargers. Just in hopes of some reverse psychology that could help. So, give me the Chargers in this one. But I think the Jets have a chance.
No.
Along the same lines as Randy, I think it's a situation where, for face value, I don't know if the Jets offense can score as much as the Chargers offense. Eckler was struggling coming off the injured list. Big game against Chicago. Chargers, like the Dolphins, find a way to beat up against bad teams, and we saw that last week against Chicago. Jets are not that. They're not a bad team. They're a work in progress whose defense is top 5. So I think there's going to be some up and down moments and some close matchups in this game for Justin Herbert. But I just don't know what the Jets offense, the Chargers defense has been a little bit better. Like the defense did well shutting down the Cowboys. They did pretty good shutting down the Bears. Give me the Chargers in this game. It's close. Hopefully the Jets can pull out this one kind of like Randy, like reverse psychology type mentality. But I'll take the Chargers this one just because of the offensive element component of this matchup.
You could say offensive woes on the Jets side.
Yep. I still expect a big game from Garrett Wilson.
What makes me nervous is the injuries on the Jets.
Yeah.
But Chargers are 31st in the league in yards allowed.
This is a game Zach Wilson needs to ball.
22nd against the 22nd against
game.
the run.
Yeah, that's a
22nd
game
against
right
the
here.
run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Jets in a close one.
Okay.
No hard feelings on that one, man.
No, I hope you're freaking absolutely 100% correct.
Although I'm super nervous about this game. And
Very nervous.
I will say the Jets played well. The Jets have played well under the bright lights. Prime time.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
played well.
And we'll give them credit this year. They have.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll show Zach Wilson off under the lights like they did against Kansas City.
Maybe.
Well, the great thing about it, if the Jets play well under the lights,
We're under the lights again next week too. It gets
Sunday Night
Vegas.
Football and the
Against the
NFL confirmed this afternoon the window open. Jets Raiders staying in Sunday Night Football slot. They confirmed it. So, before going into those two games against the Bills and the Dolphins, the 19th and 24th of November, I'm not afraid to say it right now. I would pick the Jets over the Raiders in 2 weeks. I'm going to say that right now. This is a big game. You go 6-3 going into.
I'll reserve mine for how we play this week.
Yeah, but you go. Let's just put it out there: 6-3 going into the Bills game on the 19th. You're feeling pretty good.
I'm ecstatic.
And then the
We're
Dolphins right after.
And the Dolphins at home on Black Friday. So there's again that opportunities are rising for the Jets. A work in progress is never a bad thing, man. It gives you the opportunity to catapult yourself into uncharted waters that are welcome waters, and that's winning waters.
But we are now. Granted, it's not as tough as the first 6 games were, but there are teams on this back half of the schedule where you're going to have to score some points to beat them.
Oh yeah, look at Cleveland.
That's why we keep saying that red zone and that third down's got to be a lot better. Like I said, even if we're league average 40%, that's probably a couple of touchdowns and granted, how many field goals we're kicking a game, that's dubs, dude.
Like Brandon said, fix it now and then utilize it later. You fix it against the Chargers and the Raiders. Guess what? You can utilize that against Buffalo and Miami.
Yep.
Use this as like a glorified training camp, back to the basics 2 weeks. One at home, one in Vegas. This is a critical. It doesn't seem critical, but it is critical for the Jets, and they're
critical for the offense to see what they can do.
Yeah, 100%. This team, as an outsider, is capable of going 2-0 the next 2 weeks. Completely capable, 100%.
We don't see.
Yep, but Hackett's got to be better with the play calling, and I keep saying it. Just be aggressive with this kid. We've seen what he does when he's aggressive. We've seen it in Kansas City. We've seen flashes of it against Philadelphia, and we saw it in that last 24 damn seconds of the Giants game. Like that's who that kid is. Let's see more of it. You don't have to do a whole game of it. You'll wear the team out, but sprinkle it in at the end of the first half. If we got the ball, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go down there and score another fucking touchdown before we go into the locker room. And if you want to
spot the Chargers, we're gonna spot the Chargers 14 points.
Yeah, don't be doing that crap.
Yeah,
even 10 points. I don't want to be. I don't want to be down more than 7 or 8 points coming out of the first quarter. Granted, we got a first quarter touchdown last week, although albeit it came really right at the end of the first quarter, that Breece Hall run. But you give me a touchdown first quarter, give me a touchdown fourth quarter. What you do in between is what you're gonna do. But you give me 2 touchdowns a game, you can tell me the Jets can't playing defense the way we can't win games.
If I'm the Jets, I want the ball first offensively.
I don't.
How you beat the Chargers? Here's how you beat the Chargers, guys. Run that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Keep Herbert off the field. Run it. Listen, again, run it. Don't overcomplicate it. Run it with Breece and Dalvin. Give them just run the ball.
That's why I say offense for the Jets first. Run the ball in that first drive. Don't let Herbert get on the field before this 8-minute mark.
Yeah.
Then you always have to rely on your defense. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone. Let's put some of the earnest on the offense. Go out there, run the ball. Then if you don't score on that first drive, as long as you wasted some time, then if the defense goes out there and says, okay, you guys tried setting the tone, we'll show you how it's done. We'll get a stop, and it's 0-0 near the end of the first quarter. I think that's why, at least this week, I would say offense first. I'm not a huge offense first guy, just with the deferment, but I think the Jets could really use a just offensive positive moment if they can make it happen.
I mean, I can appreciate where you're coming from on that one, but the Jets have not shown one iota this season that they can come out on start the game out on offense and
I understand that. I'm not living in
That's why I say you defer the ball, set the tone on defense, go and smack Justin Herbert right in the mouth, say, "No, this is how it's going to be all game long, motherfucker." And then you defer it. You get the ball the second half because we clearly make great adjustments at the second half. Hopefully you got a lead going into the second half when you get that ball back. But for once, I want to see us defer, set the tone on defense, get the ball back with good field position, and then go from there. But again, we gotta be aggressive. I want to be more aggressive. I want to run it down their throats with Breece Hall, and I want to set up the play. I don't want to see these little intermediate bullshit, because that's what the Jets always do. It's 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 6, and we're throwing a 3-yard pass. Stretch the field, dude. We got the receivers to do it. Stretch the field. I mean, one-on-one. I mean, Garrett Wilson one-on-one. How many times we got to say, just throw it up? He's either going to catch it or he's going to draw a pass interference call.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your star receiver, man. Trust your star receiver. So that's all I got, guys. You guys got any final thoughts?
Nope.
Dom?
All done.
Jets, Jets, and I get to have. This is my relaxing week.
Wow, you get to relax.
After all my
And
damn
make sure
turmoil,
you do that. Make sure you relax.
I'll relax for the entire football weekend, with the exception of when the Baltimore Ravens kick off against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna be, that old cat lady's gonna come out and be bitter. I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of those games.
Oh man.
Pray
Hey.
for my sanity.
Oh, we will. But hey, guys, thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod. Before we head out here real quick, I want to give a shout out to some of our listeners that we've gained over in Germany and the Dominican Republic. I mean, I saw that on our stats, and I thought that was really cool. So, thank you.
We appreciate
guys.
it very much.
Absolutely.
That's so awesome.
And we just continue asking you for that support. You know, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time we come on here and drop some content. If you're listening on the audio side of things, again, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Make sure to follow us and give us a 5-star. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and now Google Podcast. So again, thank you guys for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod. On behalf of Brandon, Dominic, I'm Randy. We'll see you down the road. Go Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.